Lipscomb wearing white, North Alabama in the dark black. The tip is up, controlled by the Lions of North Alabama, and we are underway. ASUN Saturday afternoon basketball from the Music City. Quickly, UNA goes inside, trying to work there against McCormick, and Owen McCormick does a great job defensively, staying right on top of Damian Force. And at the other end, doesn't take long for Cody Head, who's getting the start today instead of Will Pruitt, who's injured, to go up and score.
And he's coming off his best game as a college athlete. Had a career-high 20 points in that loss against Central Arkansas. Really tried to will Lipscomb back into that game, but the three-point shooting just too much on Thursday night.
KJ Johnson working the ball around. Now they'll feed it back down low. Nice little turn jump, but it's off the mark. But then a rebound, but the putback won't go. There's a foul on the rebound after the missed shot by Tim Smith Jr.
Yeah, graduate transfer Tim Smith Jr. from Walsh University. He's been good for North Alabama. This is a very skilled North Alabama team. We talk about KJ Johnson, who I think is obviously playing against his former team, wants to have a great outing, but Jakari Lane is fantastic for North Alabama, but that's the player right there Lipscomb's going to have to lean on today. Darian Boyd, good side for him. He played only 18 minutes against Central Arkansas. He had that thumb injury against Belmont earlier in the year and had been back a few games, but kind of banged up that thumb a little bit in that Central Arkansas game. Good time for him to get that three-point shot up.
Suey, Johnson, Lane, Smith Jr., and Forrest are the five starters as we see the traveling call there against UNA. And so the ball will go back over after the turnover. You'll see it here in the replay as reaching in, A.J. McGinnis trying to tie up Susie, and he is going to be called for the travel.
Coach Pujols over there on the bench for North Alabama, very upset, thought it should have been a jump ball situation, thought the ball got tied up. As you see the starting lineup, the one notable change being Cody Head in that starting lineup for the Bisons.
Head with the ball, spinning into the paint with it. Shot it off the side of the iron, but got his on rebound. He was being contested there by KJ Johnson, as Boyd, taking it to the rack, is going to draw the foul.
Well, a good sign for Lipscomb already on the backboards here. Gotten a couple of good defensive rebounds. You look at the keys, though, I think, for North Alabama. Don't fall behind in the first half. First half, they're being outscored by 31 points this year. Second half, they've been outscoring teams by 35 points. So it's key in the first half. Don't fall behind big if you're North Alabama.
It's almost like crushing. 150 to 119 in first half being outscored. Second half, they're outscoring teams 174 to 139. They just crush in the second half.
Flipping the script for sure. And so that's why you want to get off to a good start. But Lipscomb starts out 7-0 here in the first couple of minutes.
Here's Lane, long three, put that one in the book for the Huntsville, Alabama Lee High School native. It was took at the keys for the Bisons here.
Well, pretty simple, reestablish home court. Lipscomb was 6-0 on their home court before that loss against Central Arkansas. One way to reestablish the home court is to get that guy going, and Darian Boyd already for the Bisons with 7 of their 9 points.
Falling down, slipping, and the ball knocked away out of bounds. They're going to say it last went off of Joe Anderson. He thought maybe that one would slip out last touched by UNA, but instead it will be the Lions ball across the way. You'll see in the replay here how Boyd maybe got his hand in there and knocked it out of bounds. He couldn't save it, though, before it went out of bounds. So in front of the Bison bench, they'll play it in.
We talked about KJ Johnson with the ball, but to me, Jakari Lane is the guy that really makes this team go. He's averaging almost 15 points a game. He had that first three, but there's a big block by Lipscomb.
Nice block quickly down court. McGinnis spinning, driving, now kicks it out for McCormick for three. Back of the iron, no good, but Head with a big rebound. Off the glass and good.
2 offensive rebounds already early for Lipscomb. And you can just see Lipscomb much more aggressive here offensively early, getting to the rim.
Just tuning in, they're playing without Will Pruitt. He suffered an injury in the game on Thursday night, as down low getting the bucket and drawing the foul will be Damian Forrest out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Averaging just under 10 points a ball game and averaging about 9 rebounds a game, I think, somewhere close to that.
And you can see what they want to do with Forrest. If he gets low positioning, you're in trouble defensively. He shoots it at 57%. That's a great percentage down low for a big man, shooting it, getting up there close to 60%. So that's where they want to get it down there, low touches for Forrest.
And he shoots only 62% from the free throw line and missed that one. 11-5, Lipscomb on top. Boyd, little step back. This one's short off the front of the iron.
Yeah, he was fading on that one, you could tell.
Fulcher will push it down court for the Lions. Ball deflected, knocked away, but Fulcher keeps control of it, and then he finds Forrest, and he goes up and flushes it home.
That's one of those just unfortunate breaks for Lipscomb, and it bounces the way right into a dunk for North Alabama. What looked like almost a sure turnover then ends up as a dunk, and that's a big bucket for North Alabama.
Boyd faked on the wing, and so they bring it back out to the front. Now it's back into Boyd's hand. He wanted to drive the paint, couldn't go anywhere, so he brings it out, kicks it over for a long three that's flat off the back of the iron by McGinnis.
Well, McGinnis trying to get going early. He can shoot those and make those heat check threes.
Lane driving, pitches back out to Fulcher, who'll set the offense now for the Lions. Couple of dribbles, shot fired up, a lot of iron with it, but dropping it in is going to be Jakari Lane. Leading scorer for the Lions at just under 15 points a game. And Lane's got 3 here in this early going, and we're going to get an offensive foul called against the Bisons. It'll take us to the media break. 15-14. What we
loss for Lipscomb to be out of this game, and you know, it's going to take Lipscomb, I think, a little bit just to kind of get their bearings without him on the court, because so often you're used to, if you're any of those Lipscomb players, just looking over your left, and there's Will Pruitt, and he's not there right now.
Lane misses on the shot, and the rebound comes down to Pruitt. It's going to be interesting who's going to step up and take the points and the rebounds along with the assist. The leading assist man is Anderson on the floor. He has one of the great assist to turnover ratios. And there's a bad pass by McGinnis headed toward Faulkner. It's stolen away. And pushing it up court is Dallas Howell.
Yeah, a little delayed that time on a little pick and roll action. And Howell, he is the three-point man for North Alabama. You look at his numbers, he's 36 of 99 coming in. He shoots a lot of them, or excuse me, he's from three-point land, he's 23 of 77. So he shoots a lot of threes.
And he didn't mind pulling the trigger at the other end. Neither does Faulkner at the other end for the Bisons, as he gets the 2 down low.
It's a 9-0 run, though, by North Alabama to get the lead before Lipscomb got it just back, and now off the steal.
Boyd shot down low, knocked away, never got a foul on the floor. As Boyd does not mind shaking it up inside as much as he can right now. You look at the season history. This is the 10th meeting of the NCAA Division I era. Lipscomb leads that series 6-3. UNA won the last matchup 80-70 down in Florence, Alabama, and that's when KJ Johnson stuck it back to his team down there.
So used to saying Tucker Anderson, what we said, a lot of three-pointers on Thursday night for Central Arkansas. But last time North Alabama beat Lipscomb here in Allen Arena, KJ Johnson was wearing a purple and gold uniform. That was back in 2020.
And down low, another flush away. Get that big dunk in there for Faulkner. I'll say something out about the series in a minute, but KJ Johnson, we'll talk about him as the game goes on. 2 years at Lipscomb, along with the redshirt year he had 2, so this is in his 5th season now playing, and his 2nd year down at UNA.
And the interesting thing, too, with 8 points today, or actually with 10 points today, he will pass Rob Marbury, a former Lipscomb player, on the all-time list for scorers, and chance to move into the top 50 in the ASUN and all-time points.
And there's a nice move inside by Grant Asman to go up and get the 2 for Lipscomb.
Well, I think Lipscomb actually might have a size advantage inside here against North Alabama. I think they really need to use some of their size with Faulkner, Asman, and McCormick.
Got a foul down low, this one on Faulkner. Yeah, that's a pretty big move for KJ. He scored coming into today 1,441 points, and he's ranked first among the active players in that list of the top 50 in the ASUN.
It's going to be interesting to see because of COVID, a lot of players are getting extra years, so all-time records are going to be just a little skewed because some players are going to have extra years. I mean, 5 years is not your typical amount of time you're going to get to play.
Tim Smith puts the three up and puts it in the book. Yeah, that asterisk probably has got to appear somewhere with all these 5-year players because of that COVID year, which was so different for everybody.
Because before that, you were used to seeing 5 years, there's a bad pass, but you were used to seeing one of those being a redshirt year where you're not going to really have any stats.
Here's Johnson with it.
Tough matchup right now for Faulkner versus Johnson.
KJ Johnson, what he likes to do is drive. Didn't pitch it, tried to take it in. It's blocked away, no foul, and Lipscomb to the other end. Asman got it too far down low, but they get it back out top. Swinging around, and now off the drive. Houck off the glass a little bit too high, and so quickly out with it. Here come the Lions on the run to the other end. Where did Faulkner come from? Out of nowhere. Superman arrives and blocks that shot. Boyd, reverse layup is blocked away. It's kicked back out. A lot of action, no points right here, but a lot of action.
Both teams need a little bit of a breather on this half-court offense.
Cody Head driving in, trying to get that extra pass over to Faulkner, and it just bounces off of him out of bounds. Or not out of bounds, rather right into the hands of the Lions.
Right idea, just really good defense that time by North Alabama. Well, the Lions will slow things down a little bit in half court.
From the elbow, perfect shot there by Tim Smith Jr.
Just too
averaging
easy.
Just under 9 a game.
Just too easy, though. Nobody really getting over that screen quick enough for Lipscomb, and now tied again. Both these teams shooting right at 50%.
He shot his average the other night, 9, in that overtime loss to Austin Peay. We're tied at 17, approaching that midway point of this first half. Rylan Houck with it, loses it as he spun and turned. It goes out of bounds. We'll go to a break after that. While down on the other end of the court, you'll find Lenny Acuff working down there. Both these guys very familiar since Coach Acuff was at Alabama-Huntsville before coming to Lipscomb, and they had a lot of rivalry back in the Division II area, these two schools. And so Coach Acuff very familiar with North Alabama before they got locked up in Division I here in the ASUN. And historically, these two teams played a lot before they got in Division I too. As Johnson has it on the wing, now drives. Here's a three. It's going to be too late. Shot clock violation. The rivalry between Lipscomb and UNA was one of the richest in UNA's history, dating back to 1931. Overall, Lipscomb leads that series 49-28. Zero and the red around the shot clock is what they judge that by.
Lipscomb had moved to zone on that possession. And now it looks like North Alabama going to do the same thing. Kind of interesting move by both these teams. Both going zone after the timeout.
Into the corner with it to Head, driving the baseline. Bring it back out top. They'll work it around again with 4 on the shot clock. Got to get the ball in the air. And they'll send it up, and this one will be good. It is a 2-pointer, not a 3, put up there by Joe Anderson. And he barely got it off in time.
Anderson's been playing really good as of late. They need another big day for him offensively. Lipscomb in that 1-3-1 zone.
Susie's pass is going to be stolen away. Head comes up with it. Gets it off to Asman. He may be called for a charge. I think he will be.
Yeah.
And Asman working into the paint, leaned his shoulder a little bit, and they'll get him for the charge.
And that's one of those, quite frankly, Asman gets called for the foul, but really, you need to put that one on Cody Head, I think, who really didn't. He kind of threw it to him in no man's land. I mean, that's not a true transition. You got 3 on 2, but the defenders are behind you, and you're not really in a great spot. So, I don't fully blame Asman there for that one. Just, the spot he caught the ball, not really much he could do with it. That's already, though, the 6th turnover against Lipscomb.
4th team foul against the Bisons, 3 against the Lions.
That'll technically not be a turnover, though, because of the foul. But...
Down baseline. Susie driving it, got an offensive foul too. He kind of spun, turned, leaned in. They'll call him for the charge down on the baseline, so to go right back to Lipscomb. You'll see it here in the replay. Cameraman doing a great job of getting that one. You just squared right up and saw it right there.
Lipscomb's got to get it back to Boyd here on this possession, in my opinion. He had 7 quick points for the Bisons, averaging 16 a game. But again, Will Pruitt not playing. Who's going to step up? Head's already got 4. He averages about 7 a game.
The guy with the ball, McGinnis, is one they'd like to get hot from outside. Here's Boyd driving, found a gap, just couldn't get it up over the rim, but he draws the foul. Was that Head?
Yeah, that's Cody Head. Him and Boyd, very similar body builds, type there, and Head. What I like about him and Boyd both is they use their body really well when they drive, and you see Head there just kind of screening off the defender, and that's one of those kind of, a little bit of a 50-50 call there, I would say.
You know, Lipscomb wearing what I call their throwback uniforms with the script Bison across the front. Well, I was reading through the press information for North Alabama, and they have some 50-year look-back uniforms that have Florence State on them.
Yeah, I saw them the other night. They were watching their game against Central Arkansas at home, and I think that was the game they were wearing them, and they look really nice.
50 years since they were known as Florence State. They changed their name to North Alabama. So I think that's a great way to honor that and look back with some throwback uniforms. Everybody likes a throwback uniform every once in a while. And for North Alabama right now, they like what K.J. Johnson's doing to his old team as he puts up the 3. And as we've said many times for K.J., he put it in the book.
Yeah, and K.J.'s not a career-wise great three-point shooter, just 31% this year. But you give him enough time and space, it doesn't matter with these college athletes. You give anybody enough time and space for that 3, most of them can knock it down.
KJ probably better known as there's a nice little free throw runner that just goes in and out, no good for McGinnis. Is probably no more for his driving and just kind of being able to throw his body up into the air toward the goal. Spinning, ball stripped, and a travel will be called, not a foul. They're going to call the travel there on Lane. We'll head to another break here in Nashville. We're under 8 here in this first half. Lipscomb holding Lion on their campus, and it's located in that area, that habitat, right beside the president's residency. Now, is there some reason that the Lion is guarding the president at North Alabama? Wow. I wonder if Lipscomb President Candace McQueen would like to have a bison in her backyard. We might see. Andy Lane would love to help get that taken care of if they could. But I think it's kind of neat that UNA has their Lion. And a lot of folks watch the webcam, and people come from all over to see the Lion on campus, just like people have come into Allen Arena to see Joe Anderson put it in the book for that 3.
A little full court pressure to try to not necessarily turn over Lipscomb, but try to slow down that offense for the Bisons.
Let's catch down low, working. Nice reverse layup, just staying with it, doing a good job, was Forrest.
Well, and again, Forrest gets the ball so deep down low, you just got to make a couple of turns, and he's right there at the rim.
Bringing on the wing for McGinnis. Back-to-back 3s for Lipscomb. Put another one in the book. Lipscomb now 4 of 6 from outside the arc. The Lions also now 4 of 5 from three-point land. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Lipscomb's ball now with 6:22 to go. I misspoke. It's 3 of 5 for Lipscomb from outside the arc.
Yeah, but good to get A.J. McGinnis going. Again, he's a big-time threat from downtown, and Lipscomb wants to get him going.
McGinnis, Boyd, and Anderson each with 3-pointers. Boyd trying to drive in among the trees. Couldn't do anything with it. Tried to pass it across. It was deflected, knocked away now. Picked up and stolen by the Lions. K.J. Johnson is going to draw the foul and get to go to the free throw line.
Well, we've seen that move plenty of times in Allen Arena.
How many times have we called that move?
Yeah, I mean, K.J. Johnson is one of the best players at drawing fouls.
You know, I watched him in high school. I watched that triple-double he got against Nolensville High School when he was playing for Marshall County High School. And then knowing that he was going to come to Lipscomb, got excited about those years and watching him here. And then he was one of those players, took advantage of the portal, left, and has now split his time between Lipscomb and UNA in his college career. He was recruited by the Lions coming out of high school, too. But we got some exciting years of watching him here at Lipscomb, and now they're doing the same thing down in Florence, Alabama. So he connects on a free throw there.
And I've always had a theory about K.J. Johnson and his ability to draw fouls. I've always thought his hair plays into his ability to draw fouls because that hair is flowing, and when there's any contact, it does a lot of movement.
And there was no doubt as Lipscomb works the ball around, there were a lot of schools thought that he flopped a lot on the charges that he tried to draw.
No, you're exactly right.
Boyd's shot won't go, but Faulkner gets the rebound. McGinnis on the baseline. Got it.
Well, offensive rebounding's been big so far for Lipscomb. They've now got 5 offensive rebounds and 8 second chance points off those offensive rebounds.
Out rebounding the Lions 13-4.
It's not been a ton of rebounds, though, because these two teams both shooting it so well from the field right now.
Lane misses a shot, and it rolls off the fingertips of Forrest out of bounds. So it'll go over to Lipscomb. They'll have the ball with 5:02 to go here in this first half, leading by 5.
Lipscomb shooting it at 55%. North Alabama 53%. But look at the three-point shooting, 80%. 4 of 5 for North Alabama, 3 of 5 for Lipscomb for 60%.
Ed on the wing started today instead of Will Pruitt, who is out with an injury if you're just joining us, for Lipscomb. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Anderson will pull it up from 3. That was just like, okay, we passed it. We've set it up. I got 3 seconds. Give it to me. I'll put it in the book. Wow. What a 3.
Now Joe Anderson coming up big now. He's got 8 to lead the way for the Bisons now after that made 3.
Lipscomb, largest lead at 8. And now it's back down to 6 on a bucket there by K.J. Johnson.
Now, similar to Darian Boyd, you really got to play to that left hand of K.J. Johnson. Both those guys want to go left.
McGinnis for 3. Too hard off the back of the iron. Faulkner trying to get the rebound, and I think there were 4 Lions who just wrapped him up. Next thing you know, he got knocked to the deck pretty hard. We're going to head to a break. We are under here,
and 6 of those have come on the offensive end.
Get it back into the hands of Joe Anderson to kind of quarterback this team. Asman now showing some dribbling, moving toward the bucket. Spinning, turning, going up. Nice move. Couldn't get it. Gets his own rebound. Went for the stick back, and it's knocked away. But good try there by Asman. Just couldn't complete it.
I think that shot was blocked by Joe Anderson on Jakari Lane.
And then Anderson pushes it down court in a hurry.
He's so quick.
McGinnis finds a place to drive. Uses the glass. Nice little scoop shot to get the 2. Let's come back to an 8-point lead.
To me, that's the part of McGinnis's game that really has started to get better and better, his driving ability. Everybody knows he's a drop-dead three-point shooter, but when he can get to the rack, it really puts the pressure on the defense, kind of more conflicted on how you're going to guard him.
Nice move down low, and Forrest gets the bucket, and I think that's what UNA's got to do. They've got to feed the post.
Yeah, they do, because Forrest, again, and I'm kind of the opinion you might want to do a quick double on Forrest, get the ball out of his hands, because he does such a great job of getting the ball so deep down there in the post that he's only got one dribble, turn, and shoot, and he's right there at the backboard.
Shot clock at 10. They'll throw it over the top to Faulkner off the glass, spun it around, no good, wouldn't drop it. And the rebound out to Lane. He'll bring it up court. Leading scorer for UNA.
Dribbled that off his foot, I think.
He did, right off his foot out of bounds.
We talk about Forrest being almost automatic when he gets it down there, shooting at 57%. Well, Faulkner, his last 2 games, he's been in double figures. You look at his numbers, he's shooting at about 59% from the field. A lot of those are dunks down there.
He had 12 points in the loss the other night to Central Arkansas.
Still the reigning ASUN newcomer of the week off those 15 points in the win against Austin Peay.
Averaging a little over 6 a game. McGinnis for 3, going to be short off the side of the iron, and the rebound right into the hands of North Alabama, and K.J. Johnson brings it down court. Look inside. Now they go outside for a long three that's off the mark there by Brown. And Lipscomb's got the rebound. Joe Anderson to set the stage for Lipscomb.
And I just don't know if that's really. Oh man, that one. And Asman is just kind of like,
the last two shots just spin around and fall out.
Last couple of shots. Talked to his dad earlier before the game, who was in town, and
laughing at all of us.
Yeah, I'm kind of making fun of a little bit of the Nashville community and how they have to deal with snow. He said, it was negative 30 wind chill when he left up north.
I asked him what it was like driving down there. He said, well, y'all just don't have the equipment to get rid of anything. And that's true, like they do. And he understands that, but I figured they'd come down here and say, man, y'all are the worst drivers. And we probably are, but he is a great guy. A lot of fun with him and enjoy him. He's got his camera, taking a lot of pictures today, but didn't get made free throws there, as Aspen's going to miss on that. And so Grant has 2 points in this ball game and went 0 for 2 at the free throw line right then. We're glad his dad is in town, getting to see the Bisons play.
Lipscomb does do a double there.
Long three off the mark, and Faulkner has the rebound after Fulcher missed on the free throw. P.J. Johnson looking to see some action. He's over the scorer's table to check in for Lipscomb.
Let's say T.J. Johnson, he hasn't played since the Berry game.
Nice
for Lipscomb, so he was looking to come in for Grant Asman, but Asman missing both of those.
Well, there's the patented play by K.J. Anderson. He likes they're trying to figure out who's going to pick up what has been lost by Will Pruitt. Number 2 scorer out, nearly 13 points. Number 1 rebounder, nearly 6 rebounds. Number 2 in assists, 65 a ball game. He's injured on the sideline today. After the timeout, here's Boyd. Puts one up, no good. Faulkner's there to get the kind of ball floating in the air and send it home for Lipscomb.
Well, Boyd will say that was a pass all the way. It was an assist, but still nice action out of the timeout by Lipscomb. They were trying to get the look for Boyd.
Patton Cook is standing by. He'll talk with Coach Lenny Acuff after we get to intermission. After that ball is loose on the floor, and coming away with it's going to be T.J. Johnson. Lipscomb can now hold it for the final shot. K.J. Johnson thought he might draw the foul in the paint, didn't. And I think Coach Tony Poohall kind of talking to the officials a little bit as Boyd will spin, go inside, and kick it out. Here's Johnson for 3 off the mark. No foul called, and the final horn will sound to end it. And then they lost to Eastern Kentucky on a Saturday. This is Saturday, January 20th. What will happen here? Final 20 minutes will tell us, and we are underway with that. As Lipscomb has it, it makes the inbounds.
Yeah, and best thing going for them, in my opinion, they do play very well in the second half, outscoring opponents by a combined 35 points.
Here's Owen McCormick. He's been quiet through the first half, and that shot misses everything. He tried to turn and shoot a little jumper in the paint, and just didn't get enough on it.
No points for Owen McCormick. They need him to have a big second half.
Down low with it. As they feed the post. Now they'll double down on him, and that was probably a good move. They'll pass it out to Lang, leading scorer on the season. He'll miss on the layup, but he'll draw the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. He's averaging nearly 15 a game. Lane had 5 points in the first half. He'll go to the free throw line that is, after drawing the foul against Lipscomb.
Go against Darian Boyd. That'll be his first. Couple of turnovers by Jakari Lane. Maybe not his typical first half you're used to seeing from Jakari Lane. So
nearly in
Pujols would like to have him have a good second half.
He's nearly an 80% free throw shooter.
And that's one thing this North Alabama team does very well. Both them and Lipscomb shoot it at 74% from the free throw line.
Got them both. Brings his team within 4. His nearly 15 points a game is enough to be 11th best in the ASUN this past week. McCormick thought about a 3, did not pull the trigger. Instead, Head will drive the baseline. His ball deflected away, blocked away. K.J. Johnson quickly gets it out to Lane as the Lions trying to move quickly here against the Bisons.
And Lipscomb had to kind of recover transition defense there. They do a good job. There for a second, they were scrambling, but there's a mismatch here between Susie and Will Anderson.
That ball went off the leg of Susie out of bounds. He wants to plead his case with the official, but to no avail. It'll be a turnover, and Lipscomb will get the ball.
Again, I think turnovers could be a deciding factor here in this one. Both these teams averaging right around 11 per game. That's 10 now for North Alabama. Lipscomb had 9. Both of them had 9 at halftime.
The Lions played 10 players with a lot of time for each of them. Lipscomb played 9 in the first half. McCormick from behind. His shot will be blocked, but they will also whistle a foul on Dallas Howell, the 6'7" junior from Coffee Springs, Alabama. Played at Enterprise High School.
Coach Pujols arguing that call over there with the official. Didn't like it.
It's 10th in the ASUN with blocks, and he thought he had a clean one there, but they call him for the foul. McCormick to the line to get his first point of the ball game. Well, McCormick is nearly an 86% free throw shooter. He'd be high up in the rankings in the ASUN. Maybe this week he didn't have enough to qualify for that, and the numbers they looked at last week. We'll see his new stats come out next week.
Maybe that'll get him going.
Lane lets the player fly by, and then he puts up a nice little soft jump shot. It's good.
Well, neither of these teams have done a great job stopping the other team.
Boyd just saw the waters part, and then as he got close to the glass, he just turned his body because he knew a defender was coming over to foul him.
And kind of the cardinal sin for North Alabama when you're guarding Boyd is you have to have somebody secondary show on Boyd. Otherwise, if it's one-on-one, it's advantage to Darian Boyd on the drive. He's just got so much ability to use that body in the air to either finish strong or draw the foul.
Josiah Fulcher back in the ball game. He played at Bowling Green and then Clareton College before transferring in, the junior business major. As Boyd gets the first free throw. Second one's up, and it's also good. Back to a 6-point game. That was the lead at halftime as we try to see who may get control or make some changes here this first 4 minutes, first 5 minutes, second half, or before that media timeout after 16. KJ Johnson spinning in the paint again. This time he couldn't go up with it, and he passed it. It was a bad pass and a turnover. And Lipscomb comes out with it. Here's Head driving and pitches out. Now Joe Anderson will set the offense for Lipscomb with 15 to play on the clock. Ooh, lucky there that they recovered after the pass went through the hands there of Anderson. Then the shot off the mark.
Well, that was the shot Lipscomb wanted. After an almost turnover, you get a wide open look from McGinnis. He just can't finish it from three.
Nice move, nice drive. Fulcher it just bounced out and bounced around and out of it.
It was the perfect offensive action for North Alabama. Lipscomb didn't have it defended. You're right, it just didn't go in.
Head, nice scoop shot, gets the two for Lipscomb. And Cody Head coming off of a 20-point performance on Thursday night in the loss to Central Arkansas, having to step up tonight, getting the start with Will Pruitt not in uniform, not playing in this game. Susie thought about the three, doesn't. Gives it off to Fulcher at the ASUN logo. His soft little shot goes.
Yeah, really good job understanding the matchup there by Fulcher against Anderson. Just taking him down low, get him low, and that's a tough defensive assignment for Joe Anderson there.
Anderson driving, wants to give it off to McCormick. Does. He lost it for a second, picks it up, fades from the ASUN and gets it. He needed to get a bucket from the field, and he got one there.
Yeah, and that's one of those, that's kind of actually a tough shot there because it wasn't, there was a little contact. A lot of times you're looking for some contact there to kind of get you in rhythm on that shot. There wasn't any, and a little bit of a fadeaway, but you're right. I think that bucket, McCormick wanted that to get him going.
He looked a little apprehensive to me to take the three. Down low, he tries to take a charge. He goes down, doesn't get the charge, and then the bucket goes. going to make sure they're going to count the 2, and the foul, I think, is going to be on Joe Anderson. North Alabama to convert a three-point play here is Damon Forrester, the 6'9 senior, will try to get this three-point play.
Well, and what happened before the break is Owen McCormick was trying to draw a charge, and they didn't call it. He thought it was a charge, but then they got the foul on Joe Anderson, so the three-point play completed.
So Joe Anderson picked up his first foul, and Forrest
turnover
completes the three-point play, and now a turnover. Almost another turnover there, but he never had control of it. He was bobbling the ball, and that was Howell. Forrest at the elbow, hands it off to Fulcher. Great pass back to Forrest, reverses it off the glass. In and out, no good. Got his own rebound.
Oh, my goodness. How
With the second time, missed it. Now the third time is the charm, and he gets the bucket. 3 chances there for Forrest.
And right now, Forrest is really doing the damage down low for North Alabama.
He's got 13 points. He's cut the lead in half from halftime, as Lipscomb's lead is only 3. McGinnis on the drive. Now they'll bring it back out on the wings. Boyd wants to move. Step back 3. Off the back of the iron, no good. With the rebound. Here come the Lions. Fulcher will push it up court.
Well, and in my opinion, one of the things you want to do when a guy down low gets hot offensively, you want to start making him defend on the other end. So I think Lipscomb needs to try to go after Forrest a little bit, make him do some on the defensive end.
Foul, lefty for 3. Too hard off the back of the iron. Faulkner's there for the rebound. And Joe Anderson pushes it, gives it off the head. He spins it. He gets it. He draws the foul. He's got a chance for an old-time three-point play.
Well, really good job by Faulkner getting the rebound and getting it out quickly to Joe Anderson. And Joe Anderson can create that fast break offense just with his speed alone. And then Cody Head, man, he's becoming a finisher around the rim for the Bisons.
What a pretty, beautiful pass, set up, nice spin, nice play. Head got a chance to finish it off now at the free throw line. He's got 10 points in double figures. Make it 11 with that free throw. He's perfect at the line, 3 for 3.
Forrest is going to get a little bit of a break. So now see what North Alabama does with Forrest out of the game. And nobody saw De'Tyon Brown there.
De'Tyon Brown gets the 2, the Chicago, Illinois native. Back to a 4-point game. Head open for a second. Takes it in. His shot's going to be blocked away out of bounds. So Lipscomb will reset it under their basket with 18 on the shot clock. I missed who came across. We just kind of came out of nowhere to block that shot on Head.
It may have been Fulcher, but I'm not sure.
Anderson, some trouble. Finally gets it into Faulkner. They'll hand it right back to Anderson. Dribble through and then throw it into the corner for a 3 that's up and good. Thanking him for the pass is none other than Darren Boyd, because he knows all the fans are putting in the book for him. Lipscomb now with a 7-point lead, 50-43. Will they counter with a 3 at the other end? It's up and no good there by Tim Smith, and Lipscomb has the rebound. That would have been a great answer to the 3 by Boyd. It just spun out no good.
Good recovery there by North Alabama. Boyd was wanting to keep going after that made 3, and good job doubling there.
Joe Anderson for 3. Banks it in. It's open on a Saturday afternoon. I thought they closed the banks on Saturday afternoon, but that one was open. Put it in the book. Biggest lead for Lipscomb, out on top by 10.
Anderson was a perfect 2 for 2 before that three-pointer there, so now he's 3 for 3 from downtown.
Lipscomb's largest lead of the afternoon. Get into the corner. This is a 2, and it'll be good. Pretty shot there, put up by Tim Smith Jr.
That's a big bucket, though, too, just to kind of stop the avalanche of scoring that Lipscomb had going there after that made 3 to get that bucket.
Boyd using a little bit, trying to use more off the glass, but he got it right against that side of the iron, no good. And then on the rebound, Lipscomb commits the foul. And so North Alabama will bring it up after the foul was called on Faulkner. Smith is that graduate from Walsh University. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. As now bringing it up is going to be Cannon Jefferson on the floor now for North Alabama. Howell for three. Got it. Nice shot there by Dallas Howell, the 6'7" junior.
How about that response? You can fall down 10, most you've been in the game, and then 5 straight points from North Alabama cuts it in half.
Cut that lead right in half. Now Head trying to do something with it, feeds it to Faulkner. Can he get possession of it? He does, and brings it back out to Anderson. Almost a turnover there against the Bisons. Here's Anderson driving. The transfer from Furman. Got by a couple players, uses the window, gets the two. Man, what a gutsy player.
He's 5 for 5 today. He's got 13 points to lead the way for the Bisons.
Back to a 7-point game. Ooh, you like how
improvisation right there.
Both these teams playing really hard right now. Fun to watch. And there's a nice little shot put up by Jefferson, the freshman out of New Orleans for the Lions. Gets his first 2 of the day. Faulkner looks slow, but instead gets it to Joe Anderson. Is he not in a zone? He just put another one in the book for Lipscomb. He has got 16 points, 6 of 6 from the field, 4 of 4 from outside that arc. Just put it in the book. Keep doing it. Joe Anderson.
Who was going to step up?
Ball blocked away by Faulkner, but he also fouled him. Got his body into it as going toward the bucket there was Howe to draw the foul. We'll go to a break here in Nashville. We're in the second half, right at the midway point. Game today. And that includes a 6-1 record at home. Their lone road win, however, is all they have there, as they are been struggling a little bit on the road, as the free throw is going to be up and good by Dallas Howell.
He's taken 11 free throws on the year, only missed 1. 10 of 11 coming into today's game.
They'll connect on both of those. Back to a 6-point game. That's the margin we had at halftime between these two teams. Lipscomb did stretch it out to a 10-point lead, but quickly the Lions slapped that in half. And after a knife and just cut it right down the middle.
Both these teams are shooting over 50%.
There's Cody Head, and going to the deck was K.J. Johnson trying to draw the foul, but there was no whistle, no call. And Head will get the 2 points. We saw that a lot in his times of playing here at Lipscomb.
We did, and that can go either way. You never know. So.
There's Jefferson. His shot doesn't go this time. McCormick fights and pulls the rebound out and then kind of pushes it out to McGinnis, who's going to go coast to coast off the glass. Just couldn't get it to go. And quickly with the rebound, out with it. Here come the Lions on the run.
Yeah, that one kind of rolled off the rim. Kind of funny that time.
Howell did a good job of getting the ball up court.
Forrest going through the double team.
What a move.
He has just been a beast down low to try to deal with for Lipscomb. They just cannot stop him.
He said, bring 2 at me and I'll just split the difference and I'll go get 2, and he does. McCormick thought about a 3, doesn't. Off to Anderson. Now he'll find a wide open shot that's up and good by T.J. Johnson, the freshman out of Belton, Texas. He says, let me do it. Let me have one of those. Put it in the book for him.
Well, good for him. This is, again, his first action in conference play. He hadn't played since the Berry game, from what I saw, and so big shot from him.
Shot long off the mark there. Won't go for Jefferson. Lipscomb's got the rebound. Here goes Anderson driving, pitching over. McCormick for 3. Back to back. Yes, sirree. The advanced North Carolina native puts it in the...
At halftime, 7 second-half points here for McCormick.
You know, you and your sons watch basketball, or your brother Benjamin, they watch basketball. I'm trying to get little John Marshall to watch basketball. It was kind of fun before the game today, as the drive and the bucket's going to be good by Lane. I talked to a family, and the dad said, had a little 9-year-old watches our games on ESPN. He said he wanted to tell you, he wanted to just walk up to you and say, put it in the book. It makes you feel so good, you know, that they're counting them upstairs. We might as well have a little fun down, and I'm enjoying that. Young people enjoy watching the games on ESPN+. Hope you do too, and we love to see the 3s drop for both teams here today. North Alabama 5 of 11 from outside the arc. Lipscomb 9 of 16. as the foul whistled against Dallas Howell. So to the line will go McGinnis. He's got 7 points in this game.
Jakari Lane, big response out of the timeout for him to get that bucket on the other end. He's now in double figures with 11. But McGinnis, the first of that free throw there. But it's really been Forrest. Damian Forrest, he's been the story for North Alabama. They got to get it back to him, I think, on this possession, get it back down low, because Forrest has been the guy that Lipscomb's been unable to handle.
He leads their way with 15 points. As Lane, the leading scorer for the team, puts up a three off the mark, no good, but a nice rebound. They kick it back out, and they'll set it up once again.
Just the third offensive rebound for North Alabama in this game, and I think Smith traveled there, and they didn't call it.
Drop back, left-handed three. He's a good one. He can shoot that three for sure. Dallas Howell gets another three. Howell here in this ball game is 3 of 4 now from outside the arc. We're going to go to immediate timeout.
Otherwise, play would have kept going on. So
yeah, the stop in the action occurred below the 8-minute mark, so we get that under 8 timeout. Full court press now from the Lions.
There's really no harm, no foul unless you have another one of those by Susie, and then there's a foul on the full court pressure by Lane.
That'll be the second foul on Lane, 15 foul now against the UNA. They've committed 12 in the game. Lipscomb's committed 9 fouls in the game. Lipscomb's.
And this is where not having Will Pruitt could become an issue for Lipscomb down the stretch here. Just needing ball handlers.
There's Boyd. Shot's not going to go, but he'll draw the foul. He'll go to the line. Talking about fouls, Lipscomb is second in the country in fewest fouls committed in a game, just under 13. Creighton has the fewest right at 11 per game. Lipscomb's committed 9 in this game today. That's now the 13th foul against North Alabama. And Boyd connects on the free throw. Boyd's got 13 points. So does Head at 13. Anderson leads the way at 16. That's the 3 Bisons in double figures as Boyd misses on it. McCormick alertly gets the rebound, and they keep it alive for Lipscomb.
Well, and there were 2 North Alabama players right there. It just slipped off their fingertips. It's a big break for Lipscomb there.
Joe Anderson running the point. Kicks it back to the wing. There's Johnson down on the baseline. Kicks it out to McCormick. Doesn't shoot the 3. He's going to drive, and the shot clock violation. He probably would have been better to go ahead and fire that shot up from the outside before he tried driving in. Just didn't have enough time, and Lipscomb turns it over because they didn't have as much time after getting the rebound on the missed free throw. And so it's a 10-point game with 7:04 to play here in this game. Lane runs the offense. He's got 11 points in the game, under his average of right at 15. He's into the paint. Drives by, misses on the layup, and Boyd's there to take a tip from McCormick on the rebound. And then Boyd goes coast to coast. I mean, he just kept going. Never stopped, never slowed up. He just had the pedal to the metal. Goes down and gets it.
1-3-1 zone now. Lipscomb trying to mix things up, and now this is danger zone for North Alabama. They got to score.
Forrest in the paint. Go to the big guy. Let him do the work for you. He gets the 2. Back to a 10-point game. Bisons have to continue to attack. A little early to take air out of the ball, but you can take a little more time. You just don't want to get out of rhythm. And again, defense pressure being turned up a little bit now by the Lions. And Boyd trips and falls to the floor. I tell you, that guy spends a lot of time on the deck.
Yeah, that's one. That's a little close to me. Looked like Boyd was losing his balance, but my angle, the official, was a whole lot closer over there.
Now it's going to be on Will Susie. It's going to be his 3rd foul. The junior, who this past week played in his 100th game against Bellarmine. 2 players from North Alabama, as you'll see the foul there. You're right.
But he was falling, it looked like, but Susie's knee, they did knock knees there. But to me, that's one that might have been a no call.
Yeah. Battalion Brown also played in his 100th game. They become 2 of 3 players in the history of North Alabama to now played in 100 games in their Division I era. And the other player, Jamari Blackman, you remember that name? He played in 113 games in his career at North Alabama. So they're beginning to build some stats up as their years of being in D1 are adding up.
That was a huge 3, though, by North Alabama.
Nice pass. Boyd off the glass. Head off the glass. Stretch it back to 10. They got a big 3, but then Lipscomb comes back and counters with a 2. There's Johnson underneath. Gets it out to the wing.
Second start of the year, and Head has performed well for Lipscomb. He's really picked up the slack from what they needed with Will Pruitt out.
Nice rebound, going back with it. Just showing he's dominant down low is going to be Forrest to get the bucket. And then we'll get a timeout called by Coach Huho. I think he wanted to stop the play
for him. So now an 8-point game. This is kind of both teams. This is a little bit what I'd call kind of the tipping point of this game. 5 minutes to go. You see North Alabama trying to create that pressure on Lipscomb.
I think Head and Anderson have been key, but I think Boyd really has to take control right now.
Yeah.
There's McGinnis. Spinning, kicks it back out to McCormick. He's open for a 3, doesn't shoot it, goes to the elbow, but then he finds McGinnis. Oh, what a pass.
Well, it's just the extra pass. Just the extra pass by McCormick there, and it leads to a layup.
10-point Lipscomb lead. We'll have the foul, I think, before the shot. As Sushi was trying to take it toward the bucket, he's going to be fouled by Lipscomb. We'll see it here as McGinnis on him, fouls him before he went up and shot. So it'll be the second foul on McGinnis. Not in the 1-and-1 yet. Just the 5th team foul committed by Lipscomb. A.J. Johnson thought about the 3 doesn't. Slipped as he went into the paint, but he was also kind of pushed a little bit there, and I think it'll be on Boyd. That's going to be Darian Boyd's 4th, his 2nd foul.
Yeah, it's interesting. Boyd's got the forearm there, but the slip made the look worse than it was. There's a turnover, though.
Yeah, steal by the Bisons. Here's McGinnis. Will he shoot the 3? Player flies by him. And after he went flying by, Boyd just steps up and puts it up and puts it in the book. Lipscomb now with a 13-point lead, their largest of the afternoon.
16 points for Lipscomb now off the 12 turnovers from UNA, but big 3 by Susi to come back.
13-point lead doesn't stand long because another 3 up and at it goes in the book for Susi. It's back down to a 10-point game with 3:42 to go here in Nashville. Boyd, how does he hit those shots?
That's a mismatch. Boyd against K.J. Johnson.
He got that one right-handed, too. And that's the one he's got the hurt thumb on that he had surgery on after the Belmont game. There's a drive and a 2-point.
And neither team stopping the other one, though, right now, because Jakari Lane right back at Lipscomb. Both teams shooting 57%. If you like offense, this has been a fun one to watch.
Lipscomb already up around their average or above their average at 81. Lane just went above his average of 15, right at 15 with 16 points now. Going to go inside 3 minutes. Here's Grant Asman. They're going to get a blocking foul called against the Lions. That's going to take us to a media under 4. The foul's on Susi. We'll go to the bench. We'll come back and finish this one out. Lipscomb with a 10-point lead out on top of North. Transfer. If he wanted to ride home to mom, he'd have something good to ride home to mom about today. He's got 16 points, 6 of 6 for the field, including 4 of 4 from three-point land as Grant Asman hits a big free throw because that stretches the lead back out to an 11-point lead. We'll get another try here.
Really like the physicality, though, of Grant Asman when he came into the game. That last time, he's very physical, and Lipscomb needs a little physical aspect to their game sometimes.
I liked what he's done today. He had those 2 shots. It just rimmed around and fell out for him. Would have been 2 big points for him. There's Boyd with a big rebound. And Asman leads out in front off the glass and good. Little hesitation shot there and gets it.
Really nice job. And Lipscomb now with their largest lead of the game.
North Alabama Going to attack with Forrest. He drives in and gets the shot.
He's been automatic.
Yeah, Asman tried to come from behind and block it, but you're right. He's just been automatic. Great play out of Forrest. He's got 21 points in the game. Lane has 16. He's been their leading scorer coming in right at 15. Forrest up above his average of nearly 10 points a game with the 21 today. He's doubled his average. Boyd with 2 minutes to play leans in at the free throw line and finds McGinnis on the wing for a long three that won't go right as the shot clock was winding down and the light went off. And so quickly to the other end. Here's KJ Johnson on a spin. He's been held scoreless here in the second half.
Yeah, 9 first-half points, but none in the second half. Really, best case scenario for Lipscomb, they use all 30 of the shot clock, and then they get the roll right back on the missed shot.
They got a 12-point lead, led by 14 just a little bit ago. Now, they can take the air out of the ball as Anderson works with it. He drives in, still perfect from the field. Wow. What a day here for Joe Anderson. 7 of 7 from the field. He's got 18 points, tied with Boyd to lead the way for Lipscomb. They got 4 players in double figures. And we're approaching the 1 minute mark. And KJ Johnson gets his first points of the second half and draws the foul. He'll have a chance for a 3-point play. Well, what North Alabama has done the last few games, exploding in the second half, didn't happen here in this game.
It didn't, and again, this was more about both teams offensively. Lipscomb getting more in the second chance category, and then the 3-point shooting, 10 threes by Lipscomb. Less about the defense. Now, I will say this, the turnovers, both teams did a better job in the second half on turnovers, but still 12-11 North Alabama, and the problem was been those 12 turnovers turned into 16 points for Lipscomb.
KJ Anderson, the senior out of Lewisburg. KJ Johnson, I don't know why I say Anderson, just getting tongue-tied, I guess, between these names here. But KJ, who played at Lipscomb, transferred to North Alabama, Lewisburg, Tennessee native, played at Marshall County High School, is a 2-time Class 2A Mr. Basketball. Now with the 3-point play, he's got 12 points here today. And just right at his average of 13 as Boyd's going to go back to the line after the foul was whistled on KJ Johnson. And the lefty just didn't get enough on that one. It rolls it across the rim.
6 of 9 now from the free throw line is Boyd.
It's the next one. Boyd gets his team up to 16 of 21 now, 76% for Lipscomb. While North Alabama they are 8 of 9, and they get a 3 from the corner, put it in the book. And with 50 seconds to play, it's an 88-79 ball game.
I think North Alabama's got a foul.
Yeah, tried to get a steal there by Brown, but the whistle and the foul. Our partner, Patton Cook, will be on after we complete this game. We'll take a break, and then we'll have the post-game wrap-up. Should have the player of the game. It will be Joe Anderson, who has a great stat line right now. 18 points, 7 of 7 from the field, 4 of 4 from three-point land. He has 5 assists in the game. And he's at the free throw line now, the transfer from Furman. And he missed
his first shot of the day from the free throw line. You almost hoped he didn't have to take another shot.
That was his first free throw attempt, and he missed it. Maybe somebody should have been guarding him. He misses both of them. Alabama still fighting here. Brown took a lot of time there before they got the 3 that's up and in and out, no good, and the rebound out the head. Here comes Lipscomb now with 28 seconds to play. See if North Alabama pulls back now and stays away, and they dribble this one out. North Alabama's going to concede the game. Lipscomb's going to win it 88-79. North Alabama will drop to 7-12 on the year. They'll be 1-4 in the conference. Lipscomb will rebound after their loss to Central Arkansas on Thursday night. They'll go to 2-3 in the ASUN, 12-8 overall, and go to 7-1 at home. Justin, this is what the doctor ordered for Lipscomb. Not exactly what North Alabama wanted coming into the Music City.
Yeah, it wasn't, but Lipscomb really did what they needed to do in this one, and without Will Pruitt, you didn't know how Lipscomb would respond, but Cody Head comes